Whoa! It's the Illusion, reporting from somewhere on spaceship Earth. I'm sitting here in front of my friend's house waiting to sell a piece of art, and I figured I'd take this time to make the requested video about all the marijuana issues. The main thing I'm going to address is, do I believe in the legalization of marijuana? And I'm like, I think it's a red herring. And I'll get to that in a minute. To all of you guys out there who think I smoke weed, I don't. I used to. I probably smoked weed from the time I was a teenager till I was roughly 39. Yeah, whatever. I'm not anti it. I'm not pro it. It just is what it is, man. Stuff grows out of the ground. Like, whatever. I get the big deal. I used to be that guy once upon a time. So, yeah. It's not something I even trip on anymore. And personally, for my own perception, I don't even think that people are smoking weed nowadays. I think they're smoking drugs, man. I think it's all been genetically altered to turn you into a zombie. And I think if you're lucky enough to be able to glimpse through it and see the full reality of it and not turn into a couch potato, right on, man. I don't have it. I do whatever you gotta do. It's not my issue, man. I had a bong taped to my face for like 20 years, so who am I to say anything about that? My point being is about this legalizing marijuana issue. It's a red herring. It should be about legalizing hemp for mass production in industrial uses. You know, our founding fathers, they printed the Constitution on hemp paper. Their whole concept when they landed on the New World was to sow hemp everywhere because it was used in an industrial level to make clothes, to make ropes, to make all sorts of stuff. So when I hear people talking about legalizing marijuana for like using it for your head, I think it's stupid because I spent my entire life essentially like smoking pot hassle-free. I don't think I ever got in trouble, ever had any trouble finding it. It was always available, right? Like I never thought twice about it. So the legalizing thing I think's kind of stupid, but I get the concept of states' rights and why people are pushing it, because if states can't choose their right to make pot legal, the federal government's got no jurisdiction ever over states' rights, man. The federal government's way overstepping their bounds with the pot issue. I think the fact that people can't get it medicinally when they're sick is absolutely ridiculous. I think it's an absolute abomination of our medical practice, and I think it just shows how the medical system is not on the side of the patient. They're on the side of the pharmaceutical industry and the whole insurance thing, and just whoa, that's a whole whoa, we're going over there all of a sudden. But what I really want to talk about is hemp, because I think if you're talking about legalizing marijuana for like personal use, you're missing what the true power of the plant is. Now I get it, like hemp is not the indica or the sativa we smoke, but it all comes from the same cannabis concept. And for me, I hate wearing cotton. I rather wear hemp. They've refined it to the point where it's softer than cotton. You know, as a carpenter, I wish that hemp was being used for particle board, for plywood instead of veneer, instead of cutting down our forest for veneer. That stuff should all be made out of hemp. Hemp plastics are stronger than like metal. Like hemp glue is stronger than any other glue. Like hemp seed is a healthy food. Like, so when you get me going and want to know my take on legalizing marijuana for head purposes, I go, you're blowing it, dude. We need to be growing cannabis and hemp for our future. We need to be making clothes and plastic products and glues and wood products and all, like everything in this car essentially, except for like the steel frame and the engine. I know the cars are archaic. Let's not even go there. We're just, for the sake of argument. could be made out of hemp. These seats, the seat liners, my wallet, my everything could be made out of hemp. And the fact that we're not using it on an industrial level is again just how ridiculous our system is, because hemp, the only reason smoking marijuana is illegal was because they made hemp illegal. Like if you look at what was it, the Tax Act, I could go into the history of it. I got it all in here, man. I'm a huge advocate for hemp, but you know, you get into it and you start debating people about it, and they just want to legalize it for their own personal use. And I'm just not. I just don't feel that strongly about like being able to rip bong hits. Like I said, I don't even think it's a question of whether it's legal or not legal. It's like everyone's doing it. What's the point? But the fact that I'm not wearing hemp clothing and I can't go and buy hemp socks and shoes made out of hemp and have my fruits and vegetables made out of some sort of hemp polymer kind of deal, like that incenses me. All those patents are locked up, man. And when you really discover that the entire corporate structure has used it, has red herringed us into this legalizing marijuana issue versus legalizing the mass production of hemp, you begin to really see like how A, gullible people are, and B, how malevolent the government is. Because if the government really wanted to help our economy, they wanted to help the farmers, they wanted to help, they would be like, look, we need to grow hemp on an industrial level. So, I'm a hempster. The smoking pot, like, go for it, man. Like, I don't see what the problem is, man. Like, by the way, just so your heads up, dude, if you get caught driving and you've been smoking, it's the same thing as a DUI, by the way. Like, and they're pretty on it with that stuff nowadays, man. So, the driving around, see, that's why it's a scam, dude. And I get it, because the drug testing and the whole thing, and pot stays in your system for 30 days. I get it. So maybe we all need to check our heads and pick a different battle to be battling with, because I get why legalizing personal use of marijuana is very important. It's on a state rights issue. And dude, the thing they're doing with the saying that if you have a marijuana, see, that's why I always thought it was a scam. All right, we'll go here for a moment. If you actually went and were crazy enough to get the marijuana card and put yourself in the system as a marijuana smoker, they're using that information to say that, like, you can't own and purchase a gun. And I'm not about the gun debate on this issue at all. What I'm saying is they're using you going into the system to get your legalized marijuana card to basically make you a different class of citizen than me. I never got one of those cards. When pot and the dispensaries all opened, I knew it was a scam to get me in the system. And as a dude now who's realized a lot of stuff working in drug and alcohol treatment centers and stuff and helping people to achieve sobriety, is the pot that I grew up smoking is not the pot you're getting from the dispensary, man. That's your own trip, but if you look into it, man, marijuana has been genetically altered and modified, and there is so much stuff they are dumping into the soils to enhance its effect. You have to ask yourself, why is the government basically saying that they want to allow it to be legal? I think it's a scam. Personally, I think if you truly believe in the legalization of smoking marijuana for your own head, you should grow your own plants. End of story. Okay? I got to go because I'm going to go sell this piece of art. I hope your frequency high. I hope I made some sense of that whole deal. Do your own thing. I got no judgment in it. Man, rip your tokes, wear your tokes. Peace.